there's cruel people. There's cruel people behind the door, definitely. There's cruel people in all walks of life, though, isn't there? There's cruel people everywhere. It'd be a bit silly to say that when you're banged up, there's no cruel people. Of course there is. It wasn't the sort of cruelest I was going. That wasn't the sort of cruel that I was going for, yeah. But you know, things cruel, taking advantage of someone that's maybe not as quick-witted as someone else. You know what I mean? Someone that's there's people that are banged up that, in my opinion, I know all this is just in my opinion, in it, yeah. Everything is my opinion. Anything is only the things that I've seen. It's just my view on things, yeah. And my opinion means nothing. What do I know? But you know, someone to get burned, tobacco. If I say burn, I'm talking about tobacco. And people, if they were that way inclined, go in there and just rip it to shreds, and you'll be left with nothing. Seeing that untold, that's cruel. That's taking advantage of someone. Same thing with the canteen. People get it, and then people go in there. It's usually the same faces crawling around, lurking about at canteen day. You know, wait, as soon as canteen's done, dinner time, doors open. Oh, hello, mate. Yeah, can I have a bag of crisps? Can I have this? Can I have that? And if they're doing it to the same person because they're a bit whatever, then that's cruel, isn't it? You know, I've seen people getting that over for when they buy something, you know, bit of rice, bit of spice or something, yeah. Spice, rice, okay, if I ever say rice. Or whatever, weed, subby, gabbies, pre-gabs, tramadol, whatever it is, yeah. And then people will have them over, you know, give them less than what they need, what they meant, or get them to pay for it and take most of it or half of it when they don't really deserve it. That's all cruel when they're doing it again and again and again. And I was no better. I've been no better. I've been no better. What? Just because what I can say? Oh, he wasn't slow, or whatever. In my opinion, like, you know, I wasn't no better than anybody I'm talking about. I was no better than. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I was on the same level. It's just, I don't know. You justify things differently, don't you? When you're doing it, when I was doing it, I justify it differently. I'm sure everyone does things for different reasons, but I'm not doing it because he's weak. I'm doing it because of this. Like, don't matter what you're doing it for. You're doing it. But so I'm just saying, if whatever story I'm saying about anybody, I'm never trying to pretend I'm better than any other person that's behind the door. Yeah, I'm on the same level as everyone. That's the thing about jail. Everybody's on the same level because you go in there, you've all got nothing. Yeah, you've all got nothing. You're literally on the same level. So if I'm ever talking about anything and I sound a bit whatever, I'm saying it not in a good way, or not just saying it in a good light, or I might be mocking it or laughing about it. I laugh about everything, man. But I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone behind the door, because I've done everything I'm saying. I've probably done anyway to someone or something or somebody somewhere along the line, behind the door, outside the door, on road, whatever. But anyway, that's the little apology bit out of the way. whatever that was, justification or whatever. Cruel things behind the door. Thinking of things you miss out on. I've seen people not go to a funeral. If someone passes on, you know, sadly passes on, like a family member, when you're behind the door, you can't just go to anybody's. It's like meant to be a close relative anyway, so, you know, mum, dad. I've never been, so I've never really. Mum, dad, maybe your brother and sister are in the mix. I've never actually asked because I've never been there, so I've never show interest. I never fully show interest until it affects me. It's just the way I am, you know what I mean? Probably why I got in most of the trouble I've got in. Yeah, right. But you're allowed to go see your mum and dad when they, if hopefully they don't when you're behind the door. If there's anybody watching this, you shouldn't be. But you know, if it does happen, it sadly happens. You should be able to go. There should be no drama. And I don't mean morally. I mean legally. I'm sure, like not legally, but it's like in the prison rules that you should be able to go. I've seen it. I've literally seen it. Geezer couldn't go to his old man's funeral. You know, there's always a reason behind it. They don't just say no, you're not going. There's a reason behind it. I can't actually remember what it would have been. A security reason. You know, you can't. I can't remember the reason, but it was along the security lines. You know, for whatever. But it's cruel, isn't it? If you're missing your old man's funeral, Jesus, I forgot the word. Sorry, I do apologise. But if you're missing that, then that's cruel. No matter the situation, and no matter who you are, if you want to go, you should be able to go. I've seen a geezer miss it, not be allowed to go to his. I've seen people, because I know you can't go to your, like, you know, or your granddad's or anything like that. And I've seen loads of people not be able to go to that, and that's cruel because some people were raised by their nan and granddad, didn't they? Like literally from birth. Some people were raised from them. A lot of people were closer to their nan and granddad than their mum and dad. I definitely was. I'd have been devastated if I was behind the door and they said I can't go. Yeah, that's cruel. No matter the circumstances, it's cruel, isn't it? You can justify it. I'm sure the prison could justify it. I'm sure they do justify it. It's still cruel, isn't it? And that's the other thing. Again, people are in there. They deserve to be in there. If they've done something wrong and you get caught, what do you expect in this country? You get banged up. That's fair. It's fair and square, isn't it? But it doesn't change the fact that people still have emotions when they're behind the door. You don't turn that off as soon as the door gets locked. You don't go, oh, don't happen, does it? So, excuse me. I'm not saying whether it's justified. I'm making no judgment of whether it's justified or not. I'm just saying it's cruel. You know, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, cruel. Think of if you're ever thinking of, and I know I never ever thought of any reason not to do something. Yeah, like not to get nicked. I never sat there and thought, well, I better not do it because I don't want to miss out on this. Who does? I did things because I thought I was going to get away with it, and huh? I got caught so many times. Jesus, I had my own cell number at Romford Nick. I mean, Jesus. Oh mate. So yeah, that didn't work out at all. You know what I mean? Right. But it's true though, isn't it? No matter how many times it happens, no one goes out doing something for. I'm going to end this in handcuffs. Don't happen, does it? Tonight's going to end in disaster. It never happens, right? So, no matter how many times it does happen, you never go out with the intention of going, oh, tonight's the night. I'm not going to see road again for 5 years. Like, you know what I mean? You can't do it thinking you're going to get away with it. So you're like, in the back of the meat wagon. You was like that, but you still remember how to do that from when you was a kid. Like, oh, just done it. Oh yeah, boss. So like, I'll be all open the phone. How'd you do that? From when you was a kid. See what I mean? What was I doing when I was a kid? Silly Billy. But anyway, back to the cruelness of being banged up. I mean, you're gonna miss like loved ones, like special occasions. Like I miss special occasions. You know, family birthdays, family parties, family Christmases, family New Year's, holidays, get-togethers, friends' birthdays, holidays. You know what I mean? Parties, get-togethers. You lose contact with people. I lost contact with people. I, um, you know, I lost relationships with friends and family through no fault of anyone's. I mean, distance. I mean, if someone moves, you lose contact with them, don't you? 9 times out of 10. I mean, it is what it is. Um, but no matter the circumstances and whether it's deserved or what, I'm just saying it's cruel. It's a cruel aspect of that stupid existence, because it's not a life, it's an existence. If you go in and out of Nick all the time, always like that, doing that silly things, thinking that's funny, then really it's not funny, is it? It's a waste. It's sad. Because most people, if they're ever unlucky enough to be in that situation, ain't sitting there thinking, "Oh no, I'm gonna do. I remember doing this when I was 11." Right? They're sitting there fuming, and rightly so, for putting themselves in a stupid position to. Um, you know, again, you're talking about loved ones, children, so that's the important one, isn't it? If you've got children and you're still going in and out, I mean, there's circumstances and all that, but more for you, so like more for anybody, more for anybody, more for me, more for me. That well, I never went to jail when I had kids. Never did. I was lucky enough that I never got banged up when I had any kids. But if you do, what are you missing out on? Not just birthdays, isn't it? Every single day is a special day if you've got like a little one that's growing up. You know what I mean? You start off not being able to talk, and like within a year you're running about and driving you mad. You know what I'm saying? And you're missing all that if you're behind the door. Um, Again, whether it's deserved or whether it's not deserved, or not making any judgment, either way. It's cruel. And why would you put yourself through it? And all this coolness, by the way, was all down to me. All the stuff that I missed out on, because I missed out on all that. Missed out on all that, except the kid bit, but I missed out on everything else. And for what? And because it was my fault as well. It was all my fault. All my fault. And that's sort of being cruel to yourself. Again, myself. Being cruel to myself, I mean. I keep saying yourself. I've got to get out of that habit, because I'm talking about me in these videos. Me, myself. Doing that, being cruel to myself. Is there a word for that? I don't know. Like, there probably is. I should get the dictionary out. I mean, I'm not into being. I'm not into. I didn't think I was into that sort of thing to myself either. Being cruel, self. What's it called? Mate, I've just lost my thought there and made myself laugh. Got to stop doing that as well. Getting your bong out. Cruel. You've got to be cruel to be kind. Sometimes you've got to be cruel to be kind. Yeah. Sometimes if you mess up, be cruel. Get behind that door. And then when you get out, I'll be kind. But in all seriousness, it's all self-done. And there's choices in life, isn't there? In my opinion, again, what do I know? But I've always had choices in life. I may not have realised it, but I always had a choice. Yeah, it's not, but it's a good choice and a bad choice, isn't it? It's not, oh, there's one choice or there's nothing. It's not like that really. But how many times have I sat there and felt that, oh, it's this or nothing. It's, you know what I mean? It's not like that. It's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. I mean, it's a good choice and a bad choice, isn't it? Yeah, it's. Do you want to go through that door, or do you want to go through that door? It's not, do you want to go through that door, or do you want to run into the wall? There's always two doors. It's just one might be a bit longer and a bit more boring, but it's less cruel. The other one's quick fix, isn't it? Yeah, run through it. Oh, you're either going to run through it and find a pot of gold, or you're going to run through it and see a pot of gold, go to pick it up and fall for a trap door. You know what I mean? And that's cruel. That's really cruel. When you think you got it in your hand and then you lose it. That's cruel, man. I think I'm going to end it there. If you enjoyed that, hit subscribe and we'll chat again. Adios.